it off my mind. People living on 24-hour clocks, but we're on a ride that never stops. Hey Mississippi, the world changed, but you remain the same. And I wonder how you survive with the environment going down the drain. Hey Miss Dragonfly, I see you look at me with your beautiful eyes. You must be wondering what type of creature am I?
Yeah guys, so we've got another interview for you. You might not recognise this young gent, okay? We've said we're going to be doing the stars and then we're going to do the up and coming guys, okay? So Zak, thanks for coming. You have no choice to come. He's one of our guys, okay? He's been with me for quite some time. With a little blip in between. So, Mr. Brindle, how did you get started in martial arts? How old was you? And do you remember your first class?
I was about 7 or 8. It's in primary school at Tilsley. It's after school club. I remember getting a letter sent out in one of the classes. I thought I'll give it a go. Give me a little slip back. Couldn't wait to start. I actually can't remember my first class. I think.
No,
can't remember it. I can remember being a white belt stood at the end of the line and slowly maybe remember each grade working up the lines. But as for classes, I can't remember it. Probably the first memory that I can remember is 100 push-ups. It has to be.
100 push-ups?
Push-ups and standing in line, just dead regimented.
You see, back then, you go 14 years ago, I was on the back of karate. So with the karate, the way I taught it was very rigid, very militant. If you blink when you're not meant to blink, do the hundreds! And then I kind of learned to teach properly, a little bit better, and I had more to teach rather than techniques and disciplines. So you did it, you got your 100 push-ups for talking, so your ears are open now. What did you enjoy about your training in the early days? What was the best bit? You know, you got your sparring, you got your drills. What was it that you took to?
I liked all of it. I liked sparring, I liked the groundwork, but it was a discipline.
You were a disciplined kid, you know.
Exactly.
Without discipline for you, it's like you got no aim.
Yeah, I
just
need a goal. I do need a goal to work to. I'll just fall about.
You bloody do. That's why I give you goals weekly now. So you stayed with us from 8-year-old to your black belt, did you?
No, I got to red belt at daytime class.
Yeah.
And I had a few family issues, so I thought I'd give it a little break.
Yeah.
I knew I'd be back.
Yeah. So what happened then is, you had a few little problems. Oh, things all got sorted out. You got your head back on track and you went, training now?
Yeah.
So you come and found me again, didn't you?
No.
No, you didn't.
Couldn't find you. Don't advertise or any idea.
We don't advertise. So where did you end up then? You left
boxing club in Lee.
Yeah.
Did about a year there.
Did you enjoy that?
I did. Yeah. I like the low kicks. I like my kicks. So I do a bit of power in them. So, but I injured my ankle. I couldn't really go back to there. And the way that how I was when I injured my ankle and I went back and just watching, it wasn't very welcoming.
Yeah.
So I thought, no, I'm not going back there. It's not for me.
When you go to clubs, you just started getting into teaching now, and this is what I said about the welcoming feel that you get.
Yeah.
It's important to have a good bond with your students, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, we've got about 200 that train with us. I know every single name, what they like, what they don't like, what the sense of humour's like. Because one thing I showed you when we were teaching, you can't just teach one way, because kids learn differently. So we have to be able to, fine-tune what we do to be able to connect with them. So, if you go back to a club and you're not felt welcome, I'd say that'd be fine. I'd walk away. So how did you get back in again?
I was working in a garage somewhere and you popped in, said you were building a gym.
Right.
I think that was like April's, and you said you were opening a gym in December. I thought it was about 6-7 months off that. I thought, I'll come find you. Come find you.
You see,
I've never seen you again.
If you don't advertise, you create mystique and people search for you, and then they have to ask other people and your name gets mentioned. Best advertising in the world. So you found us again.
Yeah, come up, remember coming up here, standing outside the door, everything was locked up, and And was there for about 10 minutes and you come strolling through the
Was there any signs on the window of times of classes?
Nothing.
Nothing. You wouldn't even know it's a martial arts club.
No. I think it was still being built as well, so it was half.
It would.
It was half done.
Just an old carpet on the floor. These walls weren't there.
Just an empty room.
So you got back to us and you said, you know, at first we take you on as a student, don't we?
Yeah.
And it's like, come on then, let's get you back to standard. I remember watching you going, he's rusty, but you've not really lost anything. The dedication's there to train him as a student. This is going to be simple. Technique-wise, it'll be simple. You know, we've got a lot more to teach when it comes to the head game. So you come in and you're a student at that point. What was you working as?
I was doing building work and insurance work.
That's right.
Going out everywhere and about, doing everything, wallpapering, decorating, roofing and everything wasn't for me. So
how did it get to you coming in and taking this on us? When we got to that stage where you wanted it to be a career, you know, I want it to be my lifestyle, I want this to be what you do for the rest of your life. When was that?
When I first come back training, on the first class I was still working there. I realised when I come back training that the building side wasn't for me. I wanted to do something that I loved. I've always been a sporty person and I knew that I had to do something sporty to be happy, sort of thing. And
it was around about a few weeks, wasn't it, when I went?
Well, the first day walking in,
First day.
I was on about training fees and he said, don't worry about it, you'll be working for me soon enough.
Yes, you will.
Right, and obviously Kenny was there at that point, so it took a few months of me training to get back to it, and then I thought, I want to teach, I do want to do it, this is me, this.
So from this is where I said about other clubs, you see, it's impossible to franchise what we have, because what we teach isn't just off a piece of paper. You know, you can't write it down, a monkey look at it and a monkey teach it, and then find a parrot that can copy it, say it. You know, the martial arts I try and bring to the kids is not just about techniques. You know, so how long did it take you from you deciding you wanted it to be your career?
Yeah.
What kind of boxes did you know you got to tick to be, if it's going to be a career, an instructor that kids can look up to? So, you know, we went through the boxes you have to tick.
Well, first I had to get my black belt.
You had to get your black
I
belt.
was still a red belt.
So how would I let you teach a class independently without a black belt?
Could you?
I don't think so, and there's no way I'd let someone teach what I've got. So what other boxes did you say?
I had to get the black belt.
Yes.
I had to decide which route I wanted to go down. Obviously you went through the doors and self-defence,
Yes.
so that base was already covered. Now I was going on the doors from the stories that you told me now, from what it was back then to what it is now.
It's not door work
It's
now.
not for me, that.
Door safe supervisors and injection technicians, and if you say the word injection technician, turn around and walk away. So you chose competitions. Okay. So I remember the day when you said competitions, get them chose, and that's the road I'm going to take. So we've never been involved in competitions before. I went, it's a great opportunity, Zak. So all we've got to do for a competition is, if you're going to go to a comp, who'd you fight?
Best.
So if somebody, so have you got any, who won't you fight?
People, beginners, novices.
So there's not much point in that whole test.
What's the point?
So we get into the competition world then, and you know, a few people that I know, good contacts. We got some good help, you know, from Bob Sykes on his show, Tony Sykes asking us to be part of his team, which was a perfect opportunity for you to get onto what show?
The Clash.
So out of all the comps you've done up to now, which one is your most memorable?
It has to be The Clash.
Why is that?
Just because of the size of it, I'd never seen it before. I'd never watched The Clash or anything like that. You told me how Reese fought on it the year before, said it was a big show and all that, and I didn't really expect. When I walked in, I was one of the first ones in there, because I got there a couple of hours notice. So I was in there first, and I just seen all the benches and all the seats set up, and I thought,
Thousand people.
that's in the middle of the ring, and I was just waiting.
See, it's different to competitions, that show, isn't it? Because it's all eyes on you. Whoever's on the mats at that time, everyone in the room's watching that.
Focused on you, yeah.
So, on that first competition that you had, I wasn't coaching you at that point, on that day.
No.
You know, we prepared you for it, and I gave you a game plan, didn't I, Zak?
Yeah.
And the game plan was the same game plan I gave my son when he fought in the Clash. Knowing he was fighting possibly world champions, multiple world champions, European champions. Well, Zak got even more than that, I think. Because when we saw the guy who was fighting, how tall was he?
Got 6'8", 6'9", wasn't he?
We've got some good height on this guy. And his name is
Stephen Miller, I think it was.
From America, flown over especially, and we looked at his list, and I remember sitting there in the crowd, and the funniest thing is, they introduce everyone, multiple world champion, such, and then your guy's getting mentioned, and the list goes on.
Took a while, didn't it?
Multiple world champion, Dan Grace, America, runner of this, runner of that. You know, the guy does it for a living, he's well been around, he's well established, he's flown from America for this fight, and he ends up fighting Zak Brindle, which I don't think they even shouted your name out. The reason they can't shout your name out, you know, we had, at that point, what grade was you?
Brown belt.
And you're fighting one of the best in America, who's flown over for it. So you see, that's where I'm sat there and I went, that lad, martial artist there. You know, if you're going to be a fighter, Zak, fight. There's no qualms about, do you want to have a fight, Zak? How big is he?
How tall is it?
How tall is he?
What grade is it?
What grade? Just fight.
Yeah, just do it.
So watching that fight for me, it was a great show, you know, thanks Tony and Bob and everyone involved with the clash. It was a great experience for him to cut his teeth in the tournament world. You had a competition before?
Yeah.
Okay, but I don't think that one tested you.
WKKC.
Yeah, WKKC, and because of the weight category you're in, we didn't get the meat. You know, we thought we'd have 10, 15 fights. You see, in the comp world we fought 5, 6 fights a day, is what we were hoping.
Not in my category.
Not in your category.
No.
1 6-second fight, a minute and a half, and maybe 2 people in. So guys, what we'd like you lot to do is this: eat more burgers and get into the weight category for me. But so this clash, how did it go for that first fight that you had?
It went as well as I thought it could do for the first. Well, for my first fight, the first round didn't go so good.
No, it didn't, Zak.
No, I didn't really stick to the game plan.
You didn't stick to whose game plan?
Yours.
Right, so the game plan was very simple.
Pressure,
what was it?
Pressure.
Don't
Pressure drop, don't kick a kicking game.
Don't kick a kicker who's got legs that are 8 foot long, Zak.
Yeah.
Okay? So get in, smash him up,
Punch him in his head.
punch him in the head more times than he punches you in the head, keep him on the back foot, drop him, make the ref earn his money, give the crowd the show, and try and get a few boos. Was that the rule?
That was, yeah.
So we had this for the basics. I'm not going to put my guy up against a multiple world champion who's so experienced in the competition world and try and get him to play his own chess game. You know, we'd get smashed instantly. So there's only one way I know you can survive when you've got the odds against you, and that is you go hell for leather. You know, you force them to fight. So your first round, did you do that? No, you didn't. And I remember sitting there going, what are you doing? So what was you doing?
Kicking a kicking game.
Was you?
Yeah.
You kicking a 7'9" guy who's got legs 3 foot longer than you, trying to get past them, were you?
I remember trying to kick, and I was trying to throw head kicks. I like my head kicks, and they were getting into about it. It was wasted, I was just getting wound up. So, jab cross round kick, which was what we were doing.
But this is where I said when I watched you on the pads warming up, and I'm looking going, well, them techniques are beautiful for guys that have been involved and have got the experience to be here and pull them things off. And I'm looking at you thinking, why are you not battering that pad? So you got coached, obviously, to perform a certain way, being a very respectful young man.
Yeah.
You walked into there, you jumped up your bow, being very respectful, you did what was asked of you, which was jab, cross around, kick, move, kick, move. Okay? And then, what changed your mind on that?
Got kicked in the head too many times. And half time, about in between rounds, I just remember seeing, I think Tony was still in front of me, and I just remember, Tony, wanking him out, weren't really listening to him at that point, because I thought it wasn't working. Seeing you in the corner of my eye, right over the other side of the room, that little whistle that you do. Yeah. Stop kicking. No more kicks! Yeah. Drop him. Right. Second round, come out swinging.
Second round, my friend, I remember sitting there, and we don't care if you win or lose, you see. All we want to make sure is you leave it all on the mats, and you can come back and say you've enjoyed the day. You see, we don't go for medals, don't go for trophies, we want the fight, don't we? Well, you didn't have a fight then on that first round. You had the game of kicks, which you was never. So the second round, that was a fight. You know, the guy knew he had to work. We didn't expect you to win, but you swept him, you pick him and dropped him, and you got a boo.
Yeah.
ticked.
Don't like to do.
Did the ref have to do his work with a bit of splitting up?
A bit.
Box 2 ticked.
I think I got a warning.
Got a warning?
The tag being going mad.
So guys, and the reason we say this is it's not, oh, you're disrespectful, you shouldn't do it. Listen, it's all we had at that moment in time, okay? You want to put us in a den with a world champion experience, you know, we've got to go a little bit medieval on it, a little bit rough and raw. So we got through that clash, great little experience for you.
Was it?
Which put you then, I suppose, when you go into the tournament scene and you started going around WKKC, you started, you know, it weren't too scary, I'd have a guess at that point.
Well, I had high expectations. I went in, the bar was quite high.
Yeah.
So I think fighting in for my first fight was done me good.
It did.
Yeah.
You see, you cut your teeth on good comps, you know, we used to work on doors, we cut them on.
You got no
shit
worries.
doors. Yeah. So you got them, so you've had your cut your teeth on your comps. What other competitions have you had up to now? And we don't bother about medals, but you've had some good wins.
I won the WKKC, which got me to go to Ireland, the World Championship.
You did.
And
How did you do in Ireland? Because I remember sitting here, well, you see, I'm doing all the work,
I get a holiday.
you're on holiday, and then I'm waiting for a phone call. How did you do? And the first phone call I got was, go on, what happened? And you went, oh, I've won.
Yeah.
What yours? And you went, no, I've been asked to join
The team fighting.
the team fight, and that's right. So they woke me up,
15 minutes.
15 minutes to get ready, downstairs, dressed.
Yeah.
How long did that, what happened with that fight?
We were fighting in teams of 3, so we had 3 fights, and this is the first fight I had on the holiday because there was no more people in my category again. So,
Eat more burgers, people. We're looking for 90 kgs.
so there was no one in my category for that day, so I had to wait. So I've not had a fight yet. Got there on the Monday. This was the Wednesday. So I fought. My dad come over on the Tuesday as well, expecting to see me fight.
That's right. Everyone flew over apart from me.
Yeah, everyone come over.
To look after the club.
No fighting, and a nice day out in Dublin, that was good. Wednesday morning, got woke up. They had the 3 fights. There was 3 of us in a team. We had 2 fights before it, and because the other 2 won, I didn't get to fight. So the 3rd fight, I'm going first. I want to fight.
Tell me going first.
Well, Jamie was the coach. He said you can go
Goldie.
first. Yeah.
Thanks, Jamie.
Oh.
Stick him in first.
We got the heavyweights up. I don't like calling myself a heavyweight, but
Chunky.
chunky. 2 scrubs.
Yeah.
1 kick.
Broke his arm.
Unfortunately.
So I remember getting that call. I was like, how's it gone, Zach? Well, I think I've just won my fight.
Yeah.
Won. Well, yeah, kicked him and broke his arm, I think.
Yeah.
Out, 1 kick. So what, you gone to Ireland, for a 6-second fight? Could have done that in the car park at home.
Yeah.
No, well, I've got my individual fight, she told me then.
Yeah. The day after.
Good. So what was that fight like? I heard that was
It was a good fight. Yeah. It wasn't it was equal. So we were both in the middle, just going for it instead of.
And was you fighting differently then? Because you know on the clash when you're really, you know, on bare bones, you're going in raw. Did you go in with more skill on this occasion? Did you get the skills working?
Well, yeah. For the first round, this is the first time I've done the 2 minutes as well. So
okay.
I got to know what my fitness was like.
Yeah.
And it wasn't very good. I remember after the second round, it was 2 minutes in the final, and in that second round, my legs were just gone.
So when you come home and you're talking about your fitness, what was the first thing I told you to pack in?
Smoking.
Smoking?
Yeah.
So have you done that?
Yeah.
And you felt a big improvement in your fitness?
Yeah.
Huge improvement.
Huge.
You know, you do 10, 15, 20, 30, whatever, it's all fine now, isn't it?
Yeah, no problems.
So we got to the point then where if you're going to do this, guys, you take it seriously. So if you want to be a fighter, think about this. If you're training the same as the guy next to you, and then you're smoking on top of that, he wins. He wins just for the amount of dedication he's putting into it, okay? So you're both equally matched, and you're smoking your tabs. When you go there, he's got the advantage in the later rounds. So you started taking it seriously then, didn't you? Because we said if you're going to make this a career, you make a name for yourself. And the name you're making is because you know your students need to look up to you, don't they? Yeah. So we have a basic rule that the students fight on a show, you fight on a show. You know, I don't know why an instructor wouldn't. So I don't want any of my guys going outdoors, there's no point anymore. So we've got down to, this is where you're up to at the moment. You've got a year coming up, well we've got up to December, end of this year. What have you got booked in?
Well, I've had a couple of competitions this year.
Yeah.
Got at least 2 or 3 more before we get to the end of the year. Going to the world again in America, going to Florida.
America.
The WKKC.
So WKKC goes to America. And this is what I said, guys. He's so lucky, and I'm going to just put into this bit. I have a big decision in, you know, the world I put my instructors into. When I say instructors, I mean instructor. I have one. It's only been 20 years, you know, I found one or two in the past, so I stick with one at a time. MMA, we've been doing a couple of them.
A little bit.
What's the difference with MMA and your kickboxing on the circuits?
MMA's a fight, proper fight.
Which do you prefer first? Which do you prefer?
For the fighting, the grittiness, the MMA, but for the
balls
the
out, let's
skills
go.
and like the respect and the arts and stuff like that, got with kickboxing.
So this is where I said to him, I love all martial arts, okay? The MMA is closer to a, you know, what we do with where it's a fight. You know, you're having a fight and you've got quite good open rules, and, you know, the ref will make a decision on a knockout, rarely on a point decision. Then you've got the points world, and I told him, it's simple. If you want to get in the MMA world, you've got to spend about a year in backstreet pubs, in dirty, and you know, the scene also can be a little bit seedy.
Yeah.
So I'd say, if you go straight into the martial arts world, into the circuits, into the tournaments, what I've seen from that is that there's just a great family feel. It's very respectful. It's got a cleanliness to it, and instantly you get to travel the world, Zach, which is what you're doing.
Yeah.
So he's going to America this year, WKKC, win, lose or draw, we don't care. And this is why I can't get my head around people who chase trophies at tournaments, okay? We go for the experience. One day Zach will sit down, he'll have kids, and they'll go, who'd you fight? Well, I remember fighting in America, and that's it. You know, it's the story you're creating, it's the history you're giving yourself. So you don't want your history to be stuck on a piece of plastic, okay? And so you've got your America, which will get some fundraising and get you over there. You've already got a sponsor.
Right.
He's got a bloody sponsor. I've not got a sponsor. So your flights are covered already, aren't they?
Very much.
So he's going. We're going to go back to see Ian Freeman at the end of the year, okay, for him to fight the guy who was meant to fight on the first show. It got messed around with, I think he got an injury and there was a few other bits. You got replaced with the fighter, and then, but you'd still like to meet each other, because Scott's, we watched him fight after you. It was a cracking little show. So we're looking at doing that in the December show, is it?
Yeah, it's part of the belts,
Yeah.
sure, I think.
But is it about that? You're going to put your belt on the line?
I think he wanted to, didn't he?
Do you want to put your belt on the line?
Why not?
It's a belt, isn't it? It's a belt. So we did say, it's up to you, Ian, mate. We do it any which way, you know. We just appreciate the offering of us coming down. But after this MMA fight, I've said, I don't mind you doing 2 a year,
Yeah.
but you're not getting involved in MMA.
No, I don't think it's
It's not, you know, we don't want the cauliflower ears and those. So you're now stuck on the circuit training. But again, I've said you don't have to do circuit sparring for hundreds of years. You just have to get your experience up and your knowledge. So if you want to teach kids in Tekken, you can pass that on properly and honestly, okay? So we've got up to, this is, like I said, this Zach. We can't spend hours on these interviews because he's not got the history that others have got. You know, we've been training in Japan, he's not got that.
No.
So we're missing those stories. So like I said, he's an up and coming guy. You'll see him on the circuits, okay? He's got to stay with the WKKC because we're the type of people, when we say something, we do it, okay? Doesn't mean we can't go dip our toes in anywhere else. Now, coming on the teaching side, Zach, you have only just started now teaching freely on your own. You got your black belt last year with us, just at the end. You're teaching a class all of your own. How do you find teaching? How was your first class teaching though?
First class was probably a nightmare.
Yeah.
Just because of the confidence, and I've been shadowing you for two and a half years.
2.5 years, every single
class.
day. He comes in at 9 in the morning. He lives with me till about 2:30. We go teach classes till 5, and he stays with me till 8, 9 o'clock at night, and then you go home.
Switch off.
2.5 years.
Yeah.
And after 2.5 years of that, I allowed him to teach 6-year-olds. Okay?
Only just.
Only just allowed him while I shadowed him. Because like I said, what we teach isn't on a piece of paper. So while I'm watching techniques, it's irrelevant. I'm watching the interaction you have with your students, the relationship you've got with the students, how they look up to you, and knowing that you are very influential in their lives. So you're on the 6 months mark. Have you settled into teaching now?
Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
I feel like I could just walk into a room and just teach.
No plan. You don't have to plan. You don't have to.
No.
You'll have a theory still. You know where you've got to
set
go.
things that I wanted to get through in that class, but if say you have a set thing come through for, or like some people want to come through, and then none of them turn up, and you turn up with a bunch of women all the people.
So what you've got to do
change, you've got to change, be able to change that.
When you're early, I think we said you'd set your class plan out.
Rigid.
And you set a class plan out because you know nothing.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, you know nothing at all, and you're about to teach off a piece of paper, and then you set it up for 10-year-olds, and all that are off, and a bunch of women walk in, and you go, I've got to replan.
Yeah.
But when you can teach, you can teach.
No worries, is it?
Yeah, you just teach. You just teach. That's all you got to do. So you kind of, I know you've got a little bit more natural now with teaching, comfortable. I mean, we still have to have the re-edification bits where we sit down and go, listen, we sort things out and clear them, but we're in 6 months teaching now, so I'd say this, guys, he's steeped in the martial arts world, he's going nowhere. You know, it's, from the age of 8 he's been with us, he had a little break in between and found a
Thai boxing club.
Thai boxing club. But no, I'd say go train as many places as you can. And this is what I said, when we get to black belt, 7-3. Get out there, spread your wings, disappear, kid, go travel the world. So we've got, keep an eye on him, you'll see him on the circuits. You know, I'll tell you, this is what you'll get from us. I don't care if we win or we lose, you're just guaranteed to get that fight. You know, so this is the madness of the competition world. You know, just only last night we was talking to somebody and it was like, something's not fair, this ain't fair. I don't understand what's not fair. We go for a fight. We had one of our young lads, Adam, who was a blue belt, went to WMO. Now that competition is going to be solid. You know, it's run by the people that do it solid. So our Adam, first person shouts up, Odell from Moosh. Odell. Oh, hey Zak, this will be fun. So we don't tell our kid anything. On the match, don't you enjoy yourself, Adam?
Good luck.
And they go, well, just here's your fight. So he gets on the match, and it's exactly what we wanted it to be. Or should I say, the picture match exactly how it should be. Adam chased, Odell picked, showed his extreme skill, dropped Adam numerous of times. The difference is, Adam just got up as if it's nothing. Now what I liked at the end is when Thomas come up and he went, is that your kid? Yeah, mate, he's good. He's just a blue belt with us, you know, but he's got the medal, so we can take him to the circuits, you know. I built my kid's head up to the point where they're full acceptance and we're here to test ourselves and the person in front. So he said, he's like a zombie, that kid. What are you on about? He dropped him and he just gets back up and he drops him and he gets back up. So, you know, he got a nickname, Adam Zombie Jones, which is why I said it's a great occasion for him and he gets to take that.
He knows what the level of the black belt is on circuit as well now.
Now if we would have turned up to that comp and that our blue belt would have beat a black belt, I'd have been disgusted with the martial arts world. So that's why I said the standards are good and we're so glad they're good. But I will put my blue belts against any black belt, and it's not in a disrespectful way, it's in a, why would you not want to fight the best? Why would you not want to fight the best? If I said to you, now do you want to fight my friend Ben Smallwood in the boxing ring? Yeah. Or do you want to fight Pacquiao in the boxing ring? Or do you want to fight Mayweather? No. Who would you want to be able to say you've stood in the ring with?
Mayweather, Pacquiao. Yeah.
And it's not disrespect to everyone else, I'm going to get battered. Well, I hope so. I hope I get battered.
For 15 go around.
So this is why we've got the advice. Keep your eyes out for him, guys. Win, lose, or draw, we don't particularly care. We go for a fight, you know, just to have test ourselves with a little bit of metal. The great day's out. Teaching wise, you're not going to need to see Zak because he obviously you couldn't teach on a circuit or in a seminar or anything for probably what, 10 years?
Not for a while.
Yeah, 10 years. You know,
a bit more experience.
So you're in house, building your little dream, getting your corner sorted out. So guys, like I said, up and coming people, we do interview. I've spent a little bit longer on this one. You might see it's biased, but I don't care. We set this magazine up for a purpose, okay? And if I'm not going to look after my own house, what kind of a person am I? So you always look after your own, and then you spread your wings, don't you? Well guys, this is Zak Brindle, the first up and coming martial artist we've got, who I'm telling you now, 10 years time, he's still going to be there. You will still be there, and you wouldn't have been brought in otherwise. The teaching, I'll be looking after that and overseeing it. His students, wait to start seeing them on the circuit, and the rest of you, all you new guys, we're going to come and find you, okay? We want the people who are just starting out. So have you got any advice, just before we call it quits, Zak, for anyone who's starting out in martial arts, you know? Any advice whatsoever?
Find a good club, find a good instructor, have a good little bond with them. You know what? I remember the first club that I started to before I started with you, before I was 7, and it was a karate club in Howbridge Sports or somewhere. And I remember going there, my first class, stood at the back of a massive room, all the black belts at the front, going in grade order, and I'm a white belt stood at the back. Can't see anything. What's the point of me being here? So I don't even think I couldn't even tell you my instructor's name. I don't know.
How long was you there for?
I did one grading with them, and it was an out of club grading.
How sad's that? You see, I've just seen a promotional video, and this is my little rant. Now, I do my interview next month. You'll know me ranting, don't I, Zak? I rant a little bit on Facebook. It's got nothing compared to when you sat face to face to me. Now, my little pet peeve is this. I've just seen an advert on Facebook, you know, promotional for a big club that's running, and the instructor's there, and he's going through everything all these kids need to know. So you've got gradings coming up, kids, on such and such a day, and we've got, don't forget, you've got to get your tabs, you've got to get your things, you've got to get your 10 tabs and your certificate and your sticky buttons and your stamps and your glitter for your face before you can take part in your gradings, okay? So kids, if you're struggling with any of your work, and this is what the film says, kids, if you're struggling with any of the work in your syllabus, book and pack, come and talk to your instructor. Well, listen, no kid in our club struggles without us knowing they're struggling, because we're there overseeing everything. So if that kid's struggling, he doesn't have to come to me and say, I'm struggling, sensei. I can see he's struggling. It's my student. The second insulting thing was on this, which I've just showed you. And the guy doesn't even realise he says it and what he's saying. He says, so, if you want to get involved in this particular thing they've got event going on, just talk to your instructor. Or, if you're one of my students, come and talk to me, let me know what your name is, and I'll put you down. Listen, if your students come up to you, and they have to tell you what their name is, you know, come and let me know what your name is. Is there any student in our club you don't know the name?
No.
It's the first basic politeness. So guys, if you've got someone with you, you did a first grade with them, so you must have been about the 3-month mark, and you don't know your instructor's name. Does he know your name? Glad you walked away, Zak, and you found us, my friend. I knew your name on day one. You see, we look after each other. Students look after us, we look after them. So guys, if you're running clubs, it's dead easy. Get yourself a house that's warm and welcoming, nice and honest, you know, where the people feel comfortable, and that's your martial arts club organised. Advertising, like I said, I've never advertised. We don't have anything. If you come to my place, you'd be hard pushed to find us, okay? But this is where I think the fun starts, is a search. You know, you want to find them little hidden gems, you search for them. Unless you're lazy, you know, walk around the corner, find the first sign, get yourself into that club. But to me, world's a small place now, we've got cars. Travel, research, find your clubs, word of mouth, normally the best way to go. So again, come and find you guys up and coming. This is the first one. Zak Brindle, thanks for coming again.
Thank you.
See you all again next month, okay?
That's what they say. So